Hello and welcome to a new episode of Shoestring Studio. In this episode, which is going to be a pretty short one, I'm going to look at how we can use automation to turn an effect on and off on a particular track using Master Bypass in particular. So this is Pro Tools 10 we're looking at here, and this is a track I'm working on currently. And this highlighted clip is which is called Bridge Guitar, is the particular track that I want to use this automation to control the bypass of the effect I'm using on it. So I'll just play you a little bit of it now. So it's like a strummed acoustic guitar, and if we bring up the mix window, this is the effect that I want to master bypass here, which is Maxim, which is kind of like a compressor. So yes, it's kind of acting like a compressor, and the reason why I want to bypass it is because I don't want this effect to still be on when we have like a breakdown in the track at this point here. So everything in the track stops apart from the acoustic guitar, so I want the kind of volume of the acoustic guitar to drop and to have a more natural sound when these last kind of sort of play it a bit. So these three single chords I want to play with the kind of this effect bypass, so it'll sound more like. So it sounds a bit more natural and subdued, quiet on the track. So the first thing I have to bypass there, so I'll undo that. So the first thing I have to do is tell Pro Tools, and this is Pro Tools 10 by the way. Probably had that at the start of the video or in the thumbnail, but this is Pro Tools 10. So the first thing we have to do is to tell this effect that we want to add Master Bypass as a parameter we can control in automation. So we go to this little box under Auto, which is like your automation script box, plug in Automation Enable, click on that, and first parameter we've got in this left window here is a list of parameters and such, is Master Bypass. So we just add that pops over to this right window, which is all the automation that you've added. Click OK, and now we can get rid of this window for the effect. So now we need to go to the actual track itself and kind of program in, type in whatever we want to say it, the actual automation, tell it where that automation needs to happen. So if we go to the very bottom left corner of the track in question, now the first automation option it's given us for things we can automate is volume. So we need to go to this drop down menu here by clicking on the kind of down arrow at the top right, the grey box, and we want to scroll down, and then we've got Bridge Guitar, Fix A, Maxim, Master Bypass. So that's what we want. Okay, so this is the kind of window edit kind of section that we've got here to control and Master Bypass, and by default it is off. So if I move it on, it's on. So it's off by default. So which is good because we want it off by default. So I want to tell it to come on at this point here. So I should just be able to, you think you can kind of just do it by using this thing here, but well, you can't actually. So what I do is I go up to the top, you go up to your kind of your bar there, which is your kind of like your control bar, one of your kind of like your functions, of your cursor functions bar. Click on the pencil and then just click there, because that's the point we want it to zoom in a little bit. That's the point we want it to kind of come on there. And if you go back, so you've got it on like auto, click that bar there, so you've kind of got it on your auto functions, and you can just, this little thing will appear and you can move it about anyway. Yeah, so move it there or move it there, but that's where we want it there. So that's fine. So we can check that's working by just pop up the effect again, effect window, and if I play it from, let's see, so we play it from about here. So bypass is on green. Now the bypass is kicked in. Yeah, so just do that again to confirm. So the effect's working here. Although bypass is highlighting green, effect's working. Now it's kind of gone orange to signify it's come on. And it came on at the right point. And that's that. So that's how you automate using master bypass, or use automation to control master bypass. Now, I've not told it to go back off again, as it were, because this clip only appears here in the track and finishes at that point. So I've just left master kind of left the bypass on. Whereas if the clip kind of appeared again, then you'd have to program in again that you wanted it to kind of go back off again, like that. If that makes sense. So it would, default again to the master bypass being off at that point there. So if the clip appeared again and you wanted the effect to be on, yeah, you just have to tell it to tell the master bypass to go off again by programming that in here. But I'm not going to do that because that's all I want it to do. That's good for me. So there we go. That is that. I hope that made sense. So that's how we use automation to specifically control master bypass to bring particular effects in and out on a track. So I hope that was of help to you, and I'll see you again on next Shoestring Studio. Bye for now.